So hi guys, welcome to Threads. My name is Sam, this is Oscar, and in this week's video we're going to share 4 quick tips on how to make just worship leading in a smaller setting. Maybe it's just you and an acoustic guitar, or you and a keys player or another singer. How to make that time of worship more effective and more enjoyable for you and for the congregation. Yeah, we're going to talk about an app that you can use. We're going to talk about transitions, keys, different songs and different techniques that you can use in that process. So yeah, check it out guys. Tip number 1 is to use just ambient pads in the background, and what this does is just fill in a lot of the frequencies that an acoustic guitar or a voice does not give. So it gives more fullness and more depth to the overall sound. We've talked about using pads in the keys video, and this achieves the same thing. It gives space and fullness to the overall sound that you're achieving, so it can help just people just sink into that atmosphere of worship easily, and it can help with just transitions. When you're transitioning from one song to another, you can use pads to fill in that awkward space, fill in that space where you might be changing keys or changing tempo, and the pad will just help you fill in that space. So the app that I use is called AutoPad. We'll leave a link in the description below for you to find. It costs £4.99, and it's just an app where it has all the 12 different keys that you could use. So if you click on one of them, it will just start playing the pad, and if you click off it, it will stop the pad. So it's really easy for you to just click on whatever key you might be in that moment, and it'll just play in the background while you're singing, while you're worship leading, and you don't have to worry about anything.
I think that's a great idea, just having pads playing underneath your leading and when you're playing the acoustic. So that's a great app, AutoPad. Then there's another, like a few options that we will leave in the description below. We'll leave some links for you where you can go and purchase a set of pads in all different keys, and then you can play them either using your phone or an iPad or just anything that you have that can play audio, and you can use that to just fill in space, like Sam was saying.
Cool.
Tip number 2 is preparing, getting yourself ready as a worship leader when you're getting ready to lead with a small group. I feel like when you're leading a small group, you need much more preparation than when you're leading a big group of people, because you don't have the leisure of having a whole band behind you playing. And so it's important to get ready in any context, but in this context where you have a small group of people, get ready with what am I going to say? Ask yourself questions like, what am I going to say to walk the transition? Do I need to pray? Do I need to say something? Do I need to read a verse? It just really helps to get ready, get yourself ready, prepare worship on your own before you start it. I think it really helps. It really helped me when I lead small groups to just get myself in a place where I'm ready to do it well, and just think about the songs, think about all the different things that could happen in that sort of small setting.
Yeah, so tip number 3 is just to stick with the same key if you can. We all know the awkward moment when we try to change capos in between songs, and there's the awkward moment of silence that everyone, it's not very helpful to get into the spirit and space of worship. So what I would recommend is try to just stick to one key. If you have a song in A and a song in B flat, then just transpose either the song in A to B flat or the song in B flat down to A. So it's just keeping that flow between songs, which makes it easier for you as a worship leader. You don't have to worry about changing capos, you don't have to worry about changing keys, and the congregation finds it easier to flow from one song into another as well. On top of that, I'd say just stick to a comfortable key which you can sing in, and the congregation can sing in as well, because without the lack of drums, without bass, your vocals really stick out. And if you can't reach a note, like, people are gonna find out, right? So it's just about being in a comfortable space, not singing too high, not straining your voice, and making the atmosphere as comfortable as possible for people to worship in.
Amazing. So tip number 4, trying to make sure that when you sing and you lead songs that people are familiar with, leading songs that people have sort of already sang songs that have been around for a while, or songs that your small group and you know very well, and you don't have to like sort of struggle with them, and people can sing with all of their heart, and you don't need lyrics, you don't need like projection. Trying to reduce all of the things that could go wrong in that small setting would be very helpful. Trying to make sure that you have songs that you can sing that people know, and you know them very well, and you can lead them confidently with all that you've got. And even if like your guitar went out of tune or you broke a string, you can still have people singing with all that they've got. But even if your guitar has a problem or something happens, still you're not relying on your guitar 100%. You're relying on your hearts being able to agree on something, to sing with everything that you've got, and to worship with everything that you've got without having any other distractions and those moments that are awkward. So on top of that, we're going to give you just a few examples of how it works out. We'll give you an example where it's really clunky and it doesn't work and it's awkward, and then we'll give you an example where all of this stuff comes together and it actually works. So Sam's gonna go for where it actually works and show us what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, my living hope. Jesus Christ, my living hope. God, you are my living hope. I cast my mind to Calvary, where Jesus bled and died for me.
So yeah, you get the idea.
Nice. So if we use that same example and went from Living Hope in A, let's see. Jesus Christ, my living hope. Oh God, you are my living hope. Oh Jesus Christ, my living hope. I cast my mind to Calvary, where Jesus bled. So basically what we're trying to showcase and workshop here is there's nothing wrong with that at all, but the thing is you're trying to avoid moments where you're exposed and like it's almost like you're in a place that's really awkward unless you planned that really well, and you're going to maybe talk in that moment and then you can change keys. But if you're not going to use that moment, it sort of feels like a wasted moment, or a moment that it feels like it leaves people almost wondering what's happening, you know, and it's like, oh, where are we going, and leaves lots of questions. So yeah, those are the sort of moments that we're trying to avoid, the moments that are unplanned, moments that are sort of awkward and clunky, and it's like, oh, what is he doing? He's changing something on the guitar, or where is he going, or, and it ends up really being a bit shameful for everyone. So yeah, yeah. So keep those tips in mind. Again, ask questions. Follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. We're now on both those platforms as well. And keep in touch on YouTube. Subscribe and comment as much as you can. This is Threads again.